Hey, Nick Dar here with Business Over a Brew. Pleased to shoot this episode at the Old Bakery Beer Company here in Alton. As a lot of you know, the location where we used to shoot the show, Great Rivers Tap and Grill, decided to close down, as businesses do sometimes, and kind of left us scrambling a little bit, looking for a location to shoot our next episode. And on very short notice, we called Lauren at Old Bakery here, and she was immediately said, sure, come down and shoot it. So just very generous of them to let us use the space on such short notice to shoot the show here. It's a really terrific business. They really run a great place here at Old Bakery. And it's a good fit for our show too, because they're a great business, and obviously they serve brew and make it here. So it's a terrific place to have it. If you haven't had lunch here or dinner, I highly recommend you do that. The food is terrific. The beer selection is great bourbon selection as well. So it's just a great place to hang out in a historic building here in Alton. So come check out Old Bakery Beer, and thanks again to Lauren and everybody for letting us have the show here at Old Bakery in Alton. Welcome to Business Over Brew. I'm your host, Nick Dar. The show's brought to you by the Riverbend Growth Association. Thanks to them for their partnership. And thanks to Old Bakery Beer for hosting us here at their great location. Great place to have a drink, great place to have a meal. I highly recommend you come down for a visit. Pleased to be joined in this episode by a longtime friend of mine, Missy Bell-Yates from Rustic Roots. Missy, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So,
this probably isn't our first drink together.
It's not, I don't think.
And hopefully it's not our last.
Yeah, I hope not. Right, yeah. So just tell us, start with this, the history of Rustic Roots. How did it get started? How long has it been around?
The building actually was an old car dealership in the early 1900s. I think my grandfather took it over, I want to say, in the early 70s. So he had his construction company there. And then, so I grew up in the building. And then when he passed, Tim and I, which Tim's my husband, bought the building from his estate. Tim filled it with all his stuff. And then I eventually ended up kicking him out and starting the shop, which I started refinishing furniture and doing home decor with a couple girls. And then we just opened the shop, and then it just just continued to grow and put back in, and then eventually kicked Tim out, and now it's all mine. He's got this little bitty shed in the back.
That's all he gets. Right?
Yep.
What had you been doing prior to that, and what led you to think, I think I'd like to open a business?
Wow. I've been to school for everything but business, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just kind of like to wing it. I was doing nursing. I started with architecture, and then I went to teaching, and then I went to actually nursing. Quit nursing school to take care of my grandfather before he passed, and then just didn't go back to school after that. So I figured I needed to do something.
It was definitely in the genes, though, because your grandfather obviously was an entrepreneur and very prominent in the community. Dick Bell, for people that don't know. So.
Yeah, he built the home I live in, so that's kind of cool.
Talk about his influence on you.
Oh, he was kind of my it guy, really. He taught me almost everything I know. He was always there for me. I didn't really have a great parent role in my life, so he kind of took that on for me. And he was my it guy, so
right.
He influenced me quite a bit. So.
What's been maybe the biggest surprise or the biggest surprise about owning a business for you?
Well, surprise-wise, I didn't actually really think that we would be as big as we are, but we did continue to keep growing. And then in 2019, we started renovating the middle of the warehouse for the event space, which actually took off, which was kind of nice. And that kind of helps balance out when the shop's slow. We have events, and when the events are slow, kind of the shop kind of picks up. But the surprise, I think, was how inviting the community was, and how much I would actually grow. I'm never at a stopping point. Like, I'm still not at a stopping point. Right. We're getting ready to do some newer things too. So we're expanding again. So it's just never ending.
From the outside looking in, it looked like it happened so fast. Like I saw you were doing some things, you were doing furniture, and then all of a sudden we're adding this and we're adding that. So that growth happened. You seem to make really quick decisions.
Yeah, why not, right?
Right, sure.
Yeah. Life's too short, and if I sit and think on it too much, I'll think too much about it and maybe not, so I try to just go for it. Try it, and if it doesn't work, we try something else. So.
Have there been some things that you tried that you thought this is going to be a good idea and then it didn't work? Because I think a lot of times we learn from failures more than successes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and there's been products that I've, eliminated, or, sometimes things just don't work out and things don't sell. It just kind of depends on, but we try to really listen to our customers and see what they want and what they're looking for. And so that does help. So, yeah.
When did you realize that you had really a spot that had potential to be a great event space? Because I don't think that was part of the original plan.
It was not. In fact, Tim thought I was nuts. In fact, he kind of just went along with it, and we had started in 2019, and I mean, Tim and I get along great. You know Tim, he's very, very just cool. He gets along with everybody.
Right, yeah.
But I think hanging those lights in the event space, we almost got divorced. But
nothing like a good project.
We
really
don't
marriage.
work well together, like on a project. In a marriage and hard stuff, great, fine.
Sure.
But no, we're not going to hang lights ever again together.
Chip and Joanna are the only ones that can work together.
Right,
on a project,
right.
I think.
So we ended up doing the event space, and whenever I found out that it was, because we try to provide all the decor for the people who rent this space. We have flowers, we have had stuff that people leave. So we kind of add that to our collection, and we try to help them out there. We have a speaker that they can Bluetooth music to. We try to make it as easy as possible to rent. You can bring whatever food you'd like. Mm-hmm. But it really took off the first year we started booking events. I didn't realize how important it was to have a space so others can enjoy it, which is kind of nice, because even when I'm working the shop and there's an event going, they kind of feed off of each other, because if somebody gets tired in the event space, or they're playing a game, or they'll take a break and walk around the shop, and sometimes they would have never known that the shop was there. So that's kind of nice. It brings them in. But it's a lot of fun to listen to events back there. So.
Right. For those that don't know or haven't been into your shop or haven't seen it, talk about some of the things you do offer, and what kind of shop is it?
So it's like a little boutique. I would say we have a lot of gifts.
I don't know if it's little anymore.
Well, right, true.
Maybe it started as a little boutique.
True, right. We have candles, home decor, jewelry. Most of the items and products that we have in our store have a story on how they were either became in the store, or how they started their company. We have a lot of local crafters and vendors, and that's nice too, because that also helps support some of the local artists. And then I would say our candles are our biggest seller. The Milk House candles, they're the best candles I've ever burned. They're really good. But we do have a variety.
What on the day-to-day basis, what's the most satisfying thing for you about owning the business?
The relationships I think that I've built along the way. I get to sit here and have a brew with my buddy.
This is probably the best thing that's ever happened. No.
And I would say too, just being able to give back to the community too. That's huge, because, when you're in the community, and they support you. Why not support them? So I love that aspect of it too. It's nice to do that. Obviously you can't do it all, but. Maybe
but you've done a great job in that area. I know we have a lot of local charities in Cowan that we work with, and you've been so helpful for a lot of the boards that I've been on. And
well, we try, so it's important.
Right. So, what do you see for the future of the business? You mentioned some expansions, perhaps. You don't have to maybe give all the details out.
We do. Yeah, I can't give all my secrets out.
Sure, no.
We are actually, so we had a little space that we were renting out, and so we no longer have a renter, and instead we're going to add more product. I think we're going to probably try to go down the apparel line. Okay. Something like that, and so we'll start that, and then we do have another little surprise hopefully down the road. I would eventually like a second location. but I just don't know. I mean, I just turned 50, so we'll see.
I mean, second locations
Really
are really
want-
for crazy people, right?
Right,
I mean,
right. And I'm a little bit, but I don't know if I'm that much.
One is no. Talk about the technology side of it and some advancements that you guys have had there, and how do you use technology in,
I
in the
hate
business?
technology. It's terrible.
You just turned 50. You don't
I
need
know, I'm 50. I don't want to do it. Glasses help.
Sure,
I
yeah.
can't read anything without them.
My wife just bought me 3 pair.
I
They're
just
all
got
over
some
the
for my
place
birthday
now.
for a
Like,
gift.
gosh,
They were great.
yeah.
We just actually switched over to Square, so I'm kind of still learning that. But I've got enough people in my corner. They help me with that. And plus, I have 2 young girls that help there, and they are the best. I couldn't do it without them.
25 years ago, or maybe longer, did you ever envision that you'd be managing a staff of people?
I don't really necessarily think I manage. I think they manage me
Oh,
more
is
than
that-
anything. Yes, yes. So, yeah.
Is that a challenge for you? I mean, it's a challenge for me, just always dealing with.
Oh, I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate being a business. I mean, I love being a business owner. I
Right.
hate the
That
behind the
stuff, yeah,
scenes. I hate the
right.
paperwork. I hate all that. The front and to get products and make sure the shop is presentable and meet the customers and book the events and all of that. That's my jam. I don't like the business aspect. I'm not good at it.
So how do you deal with that part of it? The parts that you don't like, those are.
I ask for help.
Right, pay
and I've
somebody
got-
else to do it.
I've
is
got
always
those
a good
people that
idea.
help me. Yes,
Right, yeah.
yes. So that does help.
How do you handle failure in your business?
Well, I don't like to lose. I mean, who doesn't like to win, right?
Sure.
But if something fails, you just try again and why not? Like, you just try it. If it doesn't work, you try something else or you figure it out.
What are a couple things that you wish more people knew about Rustic Roots?
Maybe a little bit more of what we have to offer. But I don't think you really can, and I think too, the event space, it doesn't do it justice if you see pictures or if it's online, or I think you have to really actually see inside, and it's a feeling when you walk in, right? I mean, it's not just an old warehouse like it looks on the outside. When you walk in, you're comfortable, it's warm and inviting, and it's kind of homey. And that was kind of my goal, because I mean, I grew up there, so
Sure.
it is kind of my home.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it the most. I think that's what I think is important for people to feel it, and then to know what we have to offer.
Well, I'm so happy for the success that you've had in the business, and just really proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you've done
Thank
such
you.
a great job with it. If people want to find out more or stop by and see, how can they do that?
Our hours are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 to 11 to 6. Hang on. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 to 6. Saturday, 9 to 4. Sunday, 11 to 4. And then we do have events sometimes on the days that we're closed. We are actually starting up more events. We did ladies' nights and open houses, but we had a team meeting the other night, and we kind of locked all our dates in for the year. So we're going to list that out and get that out too. So.
Well, you're like a real business owner. You're an adult. You're doing team meetings. I mean,
Yeah,
that's good
right.
stuff.
Hey,
So,
I love my team. I can't do it without them. So, and with this new adventure, I kind of need their input too. So, but they're great. They're so smart, and they're fun, and they're loyal, and I trust them. And I can't ask for 2 better people.
well, that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations so
Thank
much.
you.
And,
Thank
best of luck in
you.
the future.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Missy.